Good morning to you and welcome. There are some top brands represented here this morning and we are truly grateful for your time. Thank you also for being on time. We understand that the freeways were quite bad this morning. And welcome to this place, and also think quickly. We're going to play a little game this morning called Survival, and it goes like this. Imagine for a moment this bucket over here represents your potential for survival. We have 1 calendar year to get this business running and to make sure that we survive. The market is big enough to ensure that we can fill this up. We've got 1 minute to do it, and that minute represents a year. Folks, I'd like you to stop me at the end of a minute. Take a glance at your watches, please. I'm going to ask you to count me down when we get to 5 seconds. When we're at 5 seconds from a minute, please say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then yell stop. Right, your minute begins now. The year is over. Folks, did you happen to see how hard I worked at failing just there? This happens to companies all the time. The market share is available, but what was the problem? We simply didn't have enough time. If only I'd had a few more minutes, a few more months to move it from one bucket to the other. If only I hadn't been hemorrhaging time as we went along. And it's a problem that plagues us all of the time. Now, folks, we have someone who understands the value of time and making the most of each precious minute. He's actually flown out here from London, got very little sleep last night, and he's here to talk to you just this morning, and then he'll be flying right back to the UK. That's optimum use of time. His name is Steve Mason, and he is the Director of West Region Sales for ClickSoftware in London. Please help me to welcome Steve Mason.
Thank you very much all for coming today. What I'd like to do is introduce you to ClickSoftware and what we're doing with organizations around the world, enabling them to take control of their core asset within the service operation, which is time. To introduce you to ClickSoftware, I'd like to show you this picture. If you're in a service organization, it doesn't matter what product you're servicing. It doesn't matter if it's a manufacturing company, whether it's a utility and you're providing power, water, gas, whether you're a public sector and you're providing services to the customer, whether you're in insurance and you have inspectors traveling around, whether it's manufacturing and you have people out there repairing, whether it's alarms and you're repairing. It doesn't matter of any of those things. Because in the service organization, your core product that you manufacture is time. That's what you pay for. Unlike your colleagues that are able to produce the tangible asset, they can store their products, they can overrun in their production, and they can store extra products on the shelf. It doesn't perish, it doesn't lose its value, it still sits there on the books of the company. They can rein back on production of electricity or restrain and hold back on water. That doesn't go away, it's still there as a core asset. But in the service organization, you have the worst product on the planet, which is time. Because when your workforce comes to work in the morning, that's when you start producing. Hour by hour, that's what you're paying. Now you're going to use your core product either productively, you're going to use it because somebody's going to do something that adds value to the business, or they're not going to work productively, in which case you will have lost that hour that you paid for. That will have gone. You can't store it, you can't pull it off the shelf later on. In actual fact, your core product is so cruel to your business that when you want to get it back, you have to pay for it again. You have to pay for it in the concept of overtime. You have to pay for it in a broken promise, in a missed SLA. So you have to pay twice. And that's why you have to work very hard to take control of your core product. Now, the concepts of supply chain optimization are very well known in the manufacturing world and have been there for 20, 30 years. And organizations have worked to optimize supply chain, and that's quite straightforward, complex but straightforward, because everything is controlled. In service optimization, everything isn't controlled because your organization, your field force are moving about. You have customers which have a range of demands. You have customers which aren't always there. And so you have a high degree of complexity in the field. Now that is where ClickSoftware have been focused for the last 25 years, and that's why we are the market leader. And through the next 30 minutes, what I'll be showing you is a little bit about the company and some case studies about the organizations that have taken control of that core asset of their organization and been able to drive 20, 30, 40, 50% increased productivity depending on the nature of their business. And we'll see what a difference that makes to their bottom line. So just as an example, if you have a field force which has 1,500 engineers, works an 8-hour day, that's 12,000 hours that you as a service organization will be producing. Now you know what your fully loaded cost is per hour. So you'll know what a day costs you, what a week, what a month, what a year costs you. Now in this example, this is from a company we were working with in the UK. What they were able to achieve was 20% increased productivity. Now they had a very diverse product line. They were in actual fact a construction services company. So we were helping them to take control of a range of different skills from plumbers, electricians, and plasterers. They were working on simple maintenance in terms of building maintenance work through to insurance, going in and repairing insurance claims. But as you can see, the benefit to them over the 5 years was massive. Now, what organization would not benefit from a positive impact on the bottom line of that order? So who are we as an organization? Well, firstly, we're an American software company. We're NASDAQ listed. We're independent. We are the market leader, as you'll get to see through the slides, purely in this area. This is all we do, is about optimization, service chain optimization. We have over 350 employees worldwide. We operate with an R&D center in Tel Aviv, as well as in North America. We have centers in Europe. We are a very partner-centric organization. And within South Africa, we're working very closely with About Time, and thank you very much for coming in today. We have already signed our first customer here in South Africa, which is Eskom, and we are engaged with them on rolling out a project within their organization. Key at this point and in this economy is the fundamentals of any organization. As a software company, our revenues are around $70 million per year. We are debt-free, and we're growing at a rate of between 25 to 30% year on year. Quite recently, there was a discussion at an analyst briefing, and we were asked, is the downturn in the economy affecting our performance? Well, the reality is that the global economy is in such a state that is driving our performance, because organizations around the world have to take cost out of the business. They have to be competitive because their market is remaining competitive. And it is this economy which is driving our success by enabling our customers to be successful in a very tight economy. So what are the principles that you'll get within taking control of your time? Well, firstly, what you'll be able to do is look at increasing revenues. As you get your employee base more efficient, you're able to do more work. Now, organizations realize the benefits of that in one of two ways. They either look to do the same amount of work with less employees, or more work in a growing market with the same employees. But the key thing is they're able to break the link between growth and growth in the service organization. By breaking that link, what they're able to do is to increase margin and increase profit. And that is critical to any organization. Cost reduction.